These are the lesson activities for sections 1.4 and 1.5. It's lesson 2. Again, we're going to skip over this introductions part because we can't do that when we're remote. Okay, so number 1, the results of a sample election are given below. What would be the outcome of the election if the election were conducted by the plurality with elimination method? So this one starts just like plurality. You count first place votes. So A has 6 plus 5 plus 9, so that's 20. B has 2 plus 3 plus 3, so that's 8. C has 3 plus 2 is 5, and D has 3. Now, if anybody has a majority, we're done. So that's what makes plurality different from plurality with elimination. In plurality with elimination, the winner has to have a majority. So to figure out if anyone has a majority, we count up the total number of voters. So just add the numbers across the top, 6 plus 5 plus 9 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, and we get 36. 36 total voters, which means that half would be 18, so a majority is 19. Okay, so does anybody already have a majority? Yes, candidate A has a majority, so candidate A is the winner. Okay, so then it's a very simple method when someone has a majority. A is the winner. Now, to determine the complete ranking, we do know A wins, but to get the rest of it, we can't just rank based on points. We have to do plurality with elimination. Okay, so we're going to complete the whole method. So in the plurality with elimination method, you eliminate the candidate with the fewest first place votes. So we would get rid of candidate D. And the candidate who gets eliminated first comes in last place. So we know D is last. Now, D's 3 votes, we are going to look at this column. And D's 3 votes go to the person next in that column. Okay, so this column represents 3 actual voters who ranked their candidates D, C, B, A. So if D is eliminated, then we can assume that these 3 people would go to candidate C as their next choice. So I'm going to give those 3 votes that used to be D's to C. Okay, so now A has 20, B has 8, and C has 8. So that means that in the next round, B and C would both be eliminated because they are tied for last place, which means they are going to tie for second place. So the way I sometimes write this is I'll do B/C come in second. So it's A, B and C tie for second, and then D comes in last. What would be the outcome of the election if it were conducted by the method of pairwise comparisons? So I have 4 candidates. I have to write out all the possible matchups. So A versus B, A versus C, A versus D. So that's A versus everyone else. Then I'm going to do B's matchups. I already have B versus A because I have A versus B. So I'm going to do B versus C, B versus D. So that's all of B's. And then C's matchups, I already have A against C right here. I already have B against C right here. So I just have to do C against D. And that covers all of D's matchups too, because I have D against C, D against B, and D against A. So everyone is matched up against everyone else. Now I have to figure out who would win the head-to-head matchups. So A against B. So we have to go column by column and decide if for every voter, for every column, who would they pick, A or B? So these first 3 columns, the 6, the 5, and the 9, they would all pick A because they have A in first place. So 6, 5, and 9 makes 20. So I'm going to put 20 in the A column. And then my next 3 columns all have B in first place. So they would choose B over A because B is in first place. So that's the 2, 3, and the 3. So that makes 8 votes total. Put 8 in the B column. Now the rest are less obvious. So I have to go column by column. So these 3 votes, we have to decide, should we give them to B or should we give them to A? So we choose by deciding which one is ranked higher. So in this column, B is ranked above A. So if these 3 voters had to choose between B and A, we can assume that they would pick B because they have B ranked higher. So I'm going to give those 3 votes to B. And then in the next column, there's 2 votes, B or A. Looks like B is ranked higher than A, so I'm going to give them to B. And then in the last column, 3 votes, should we give them to B or should we give them to A? B is ranked higher, so we'll give them to B. Three more votes to B. So when we add them up, B ends up with 8, 11, 13, 16 votes. So that means A wins, right? 20 to 16. So A wins that one. Circle it. All right, and now A versus C. A gets the first 20. And then every other column, you'll notice in every other column, besides these first 3, oh, sorry, I lied. A is not in last place in every other column. Okay, I was about to lie. So let's go through and check. So I know that C is in first place in these 2 columns. So, well, we'll do column by column. All right, so these 2 votes, should we give them to A or should we give them to C? A is ranked higher, so we're going to give 2 more to C. Okay, then these 3 voters, C is ranked higher than A, so we're going to give 3 votes to C. Okay, then these 3, C is ranked higher than A again, so we're going to give 3 more to C. Okay, so we did 20, the 2, 3, and 3. Okay, we're on this 3. C is ranked higher than A, so I give 3 more to C. These 2, C is ranked higher than A. And these 3, C is ranked higher than A. So the last 3 columns all have C ranked higher than A. So I'm going to give 3, 6, I'm going to give 8 more votes from these columns all to C, because C is ranked higher than A in all of those. So 8 more votes to C. Okay, so that ends up being 22 to 14. So A wins that matchup. Now A versus D, we start by giving 20 votes to A because there are 20 votes in the first 3 columns that have A in first place. Okay, then we go column by column. So these 2 votes, A or D. A is ranked higher, so I'm going to give 2 votes to A. Okay, next column. D is ranked higher than A, so I'm going to give 3 votes to D here. Next column is this 3 right here. D is ranked higher than A, so I'm going to give 3 more votes to D. Okay, then this column, the last column of 3s, A is ranked higher than D, so I give those 3 votes to A. Okay, now we're on the 2. D is ranked higher than A, 2 votes to D. And the final column, D is ranked higher than A, so we give 3 votes to D. So that ends up 25 to 3, 6, 8, 11. So that means A wins that matchup. Okay, B versus C. So these 6 have B ranked higher than C. So I'm going to give 6 to B. These 5 have B ranked higher than C. B is in second, C is in last, so B is ranked higher, so we give those 5 votes to B. Okay, these 9 voters, they have C ranked above B. C is higher. So we're going to give those 9 votes to C. These 2 voters have, actually, these next 3 columns all have B in first place. So B is going to get all of those because it's definitely ranked above C in all of them. So we have 2, 5, 8 votes go to B right now. Do those all at once. And then the next 2 columns have C in first place. So C is definitely ranked above B. So I'm going to give 5 votes to C. And then in the last column, we're comparing B against C. So C is ranked higher than B. So we give 3 more votes to C. All right, so that adds up to 6 and 5 is 11, and 8 is 19. 9 and 5 is 14, and 3 is 17. So B wins that matchup. All right, now B versus D. So these 6 have B ranked higher, these 5 have B ranked higher, and these 9 have B ranked higher. So these first 20 votes all have B ranked above D. So I'm going to give 20 votes to B. All right, so then the next 8 votes all have B in first place, so those are definitely going to go to B. B is ranked higher than D. So we have 8 more votes to B. Okay, then B, in these 3 votes, B is above D, and in these 2 votes, B is above D. So those 5 votes all go to B. And in the final column, D is ranked first, higher than B, so 3 votes go to D. Okay, so this is 33 to 3. B wins. All right, one more matchup, C against D. So these 6 votes, C is ranked higher than D, so we give them to C. These 5 votes, D is ranked higher than C, so we give them to D. 5 votes to D. These 9, C is ranked higher than D, so we give them to C. 9 votes to C. Okay, these 2, D is higher than C. These 3, oh, C is higher, so I'm gonna stop here. So these 2 votes, D is higher than C, so I'm going to give them to D. 2 votes to D. Okay, next 3, C is higher than D, so I give them to C. 3 votes to C. Okay, the next 3, D is higher than C, so I give them to D. 3 votes to D. And then the last column of 3, C is ranked higher than D, so I give them to C. In fact, this 3 and this 2 both have C in first place, so those 5 all go to C. And then in the last column, D is ranked above C, so I give 3 more votes to D. Add these up, and I get 13 to 15, 20, 23. So C wins that matchup. So now we have to tally up how many matchups each candidate won. So A wins 3. Oops. A wins 3 matchups. B wins 1, 2 matchups. And C won 1 matchup. D won none of their matchups. Okay. Quick check. Add these all up. 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 is 6. That's how many matchups we had, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matchups. There were 6 matchups. There should be 6 points awarded. So I think we did it right. A is the winner. They won the most matchups. And the ranking is going to be A, B, C, D. Just descending order of matchups 1. A math class is asked by the instructor to vote among 4 possible times for the final exam. The following is the class's preference schedule. What would be the outcome if the election were conducted by the plurality with elimination method? So this starts like plurality, count first place votes. So A has 3 plus 4 plus 9, that's 16. B has 9 plus 2 plus 5, that's 9, 10, 11, 16. And C has 8 plus 3, 11. And D has 12 first place votes. Okay, does anyone have a majority? We need to add up all the votes. So there's 16 plus 16 is 32, plus 11 is 43, plus 12 is 55 voters. There's a total of 55 voters. So a majority would be more than half. So divide by 2, which is 27.5, which means a majority would be 28. Does anyone have 28 or more votes here? No. So we eliminate the candidate in last place. So I'm going to eliminate candidate C. Candidate C had 11 first place votes. I have to reallocate them to other candidates. So I had 3 columns with candidate C in first place. Go column by column to see who those votes should go to. So these 8 voters, they had C in first place, but if they can't have C, their next choice is D. So I'm going to give 8 more votes to D. Now these 3 voters, they have C in first place, but C is gone. So we figure they would choose A as their next choice because they have A ranked next in that as their preference. So we're going to give those 3 votes to A. And then these last 12 votes that were supposed to go to, those aren't votes for C, so we don't have to do that. Okay, so now we change the vote totals. So A now has 19, B has 16, and D has 12 plus 8 is 20. Does anyone have a majority of 28 votes? No. So eliminate the candidate with the fewest. So we're going to eliminate candidate B. And we have to give away B's 16 votes. So I have to look at who put candidate B in first place. So we've got 3 columns that has candidate B in first place, and I have to use the column to determine who gets the votes. Who do I give those votes to? So these 9 voters, they have candidate B in first place. B is eliminated. Their next choice is C. But C is already gone. I can't give the votes to C. So I go to the next choice, D. So I'm going to give 9 more to D. Now these next 2 right here, they have B in first place, but B is being eliminated, so their next choice would be A. A is still in the running, so I can give 2 votes to A. And then these 5 voters that have B in first place, their next choice would be C, but C is gone, so they go to A. So 5 more to A. So 19 plus 7 is 26, and 20 plus 9 is 29. So D wins with 29 votes, which is a majority, more than 28. So D is the winner. And the complete ranking is D wins. And then we work backwards from who was eliminated first. So C was eliminated first. Then B was eliminated. And A was the last candidate in the running. What would be the outcome if the election were conducted by the method of pairwise comparisons? So I set up all the possible comparisons. A versus B, A versus C, A versus D, B versus C, B versus D, and C versus D. Okay, so A against B. A gets the first 3 columns, which is 3 plus 4 plus 9, which is 16 votes there. And then B gets the next 3 columns because B is ranked in first. So that's 9, 10, 11, 16. Okay, and then looking at the column that has an 8 at the top, B is ranked above A. So the 8 votes go to B. Then the 3 column, A is ranked higher, so 3 votes go to A. And in the 12 column, A is ranked higher. So 16 and 12 is 28 plus 3 is 31 to 24. A wins that one. Okay, A against C. We've got 16. Then the second column with a 9 at the top, C is ranked above A, so we'll do 9 there. Then the 2, A is ranked higher. Then the 5, C is ranked higher. And then the 8 and the 3, C is ranked first, so we'll give all 11 to C. And then for the 12, C is ranked higher. So C wins that one. Okay, A against D, we've got 16. And then 9, we have D is ranked higher. 2, A is ranked higher. 5, A is ranked higher. 8, D is ranked higher. 3, A is ranked higher. And 12, D is ranked higher. So this is 29, and this is 16, 18, 23, 26. So D wins that one. Okay, B against C. So the first column, B is ranked higher. They get the 3. The next column, B is ranked higher. The next column, B against C. C is ranked higher, so we give 9 to C. The next column that has a 9 on the top, B against C. Oh, well, the next 3 columns all have B in first place, so we're going to give those all to B. So that's 9, 10, 11, 16. And then the 8 column and the next 3 column both have C in first, so we'll do 11 to C. And then the 12 column, C is ranked higher, so 12 to C. So that's 23 plus 9 would be 32, so C wins that one. B against D. So the first column goes to B. The next column goes to B. The 9 column goes to B. The next 9 column, well, the next 3 columns all go to B, so that's 16. And then the 8 column goes to D. The 3 column goes to D. And the 12 column goes to D. So D, that adds up to 23. And B, that adds up to 32. So B wins that one. C against D. Okay, first column, C wins. Second column, D wins. Third column that has the one with the 9 at the top, C wins. The next 9, C wins. The 2 column, C wins. The 5 column, C wins. The 8 column, C wins. The 3 column, C wins. And then the 12 column, D wins. So this one adds up to 16, which means this one is definitely more. So the winner, let's see, I have to add up how many matchups each person won, or each time slot won. So A looks like they got circled once. B won 1 matchup. C won 1, 2, 3 matchups, and D won 1 matchup. Now remember, now that I've allotted all of these points, it should add up to 6. So it does, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the winner is C. The complete ranking would be C wins, and the remaining candidates tie for second. And then A, B, and D all tie for second place.